interested in this. So even though technically our classes are all about Tai Chi, every now and again we might learn something that's not Tai Chi. And so I have come across this on TikTok, and it's called HARP TikTok, HARP TikTok. And HARP stands for Helping Addicts Recover Progressively. So, a lot of people in this life go down the wrong road and they get themselves in a bind. And it's hard once you go down that bad road to pull yourself back, right? I mean, we all know people that have just veered off into that wrong road. And then you have to extra applause those who get right once they went way wrong. And when I see these people on this TikTok, I just want to cheer for them because of the work that they do. And what they do is called tapping. And so everything that I'll play one. Let me see. I don't know what one I'm picking, but they'll have a different theme each time. All right. So.
Hey everyone, my name is Joshua. I'm with my brothers Ernest and Austin. We're coming to you live from the HARP program in Chesterfield County Jail. Today I will be leading a tapping meditation that I personally wrote, and it's called The Pain of Growth. So I hope you tap with us. We're going to start with the side of the hand and repeat after me. I see that I am only human.
I see that I am only human.
Go to the eyebrow. Not perfect, but perfectly imperfect.
Not perfect, but perfectly imperfect.
Side of the eye, filled with good and bad.
Filled with good and bad.
Under the eye, acknowledging that it's all part of life.
Acknowledging that it's all part of life.
Under nose, know that life will go on.
Know that life will go on.
Under lip, even when I feel numb or empty.
Even when I feel numb or empty.
Collarbone, being aware that I may be hurt.
Being aware that I may be hurt.
Underarm, knowing I don't have to hold that pain inside.
Knowing that I don't have to hold that pain inside.
Top of the head, recognizing that I am always enough.
Recognizing that I am always enough.
Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the session.
So each one of their things, it goes through that same thing. It's like they tap here and say a sentence. They tap here, they say a sentence. They tap here, they tap here, they tap here, and then they tap here. I don't understand what tapping is. I have not taken the chance to go and research it, but I do know this. Words of affirmation are meaningful. Okay. You've probably had days whenever you tell yourself ugly things about yourself, right? We've all had bad self-talk. And does our day get better? No, usually we just go worse and worse and worse. But if we can ever find it in us to say, okay, that happened, or yes, I made that mistake, but this, something positive about me, then it lifts our spirit. And so that's what I gather from that, is that we're focusing. These are pressure points, and it has to do with that Eastern medicine. I'm going to look more into it, and especially probably after today of bringing it up, is that it has to be pressure points of why we're tapping pressure points.
Right.
Pressure points. And then by saying positive things, it's almost like we're beating it into ourselves, right?
Right.
I am enough. See, I am enough. Beating it into this head that I am enough. I am not the mistakes that I make, right? I am not. I leave my mistakes behind me. It's almost like you're beating the message into your head, and it feels like it's releasing some kind of pressure whenever you tap there, doesn't it?
Yes.
It just feels, I mean, I think this one is probably the most uncomfortable, like tapping under your arm. But here. So you know, these guys, I applaud them. You know, they're in a place where they have done whatever crime they've done. It obviously has to do with addiction.
Right.
I don't know. But
Right.
anyway, I don't know if they're on anything except TikTok. Um, considering
Maybe
it's
YouTube.
HARP TikTok, standing for, what did I call it? Helping addicts recover progressively. And they have what's called Tapping Tuesday. So, and it's video after video of people saying some kind of message as they go through all the same exact sequence of tapping. So anyway, I think in the Western world we get so hung up on medicine to fix us. Whether, you know, if we have a pain, we go to a medicine, you know, and sometimes that's necessary. Don't get me wrong. I'm not cursing all medicine, because sometimes we need it. Sometimes we need it for blood pressure, blood sugar, you know, cholesterol. Sometimes it is necessary, but let's start somewhere else and see if we can find ourselves help. And so, you know, Tai Chi is of the Eastern world, and the Eastern world seems to be a lot more natural about things. That's the same place of acupuncture. So that's why I think this is connected to what we do in Tai Chi is pressure points. Acupuncture uses pressure points where they insert needles. And the premise behind acupuncture is you have some kind of injury, and by inserting the needles, because the injury is blocking proper energy flow. Okay, so there's pain there. Say there's a knotted up muscle. There's pain there and energy can't flow properly. So they insert the needles, the tiny, tiny little hair size needles, to allow the energy to flow so that it can heal. In Tai Chi, we talk about energy, specifically about open joints. That's one of our principles. So whenever we say, don't lock your elbows, keep those elbows soft, that allows that energy to flow. Whereas if you lock your joints, that blocks energy from flowing. What we want is all the life energy flowing through our bodies. Life energy is what makes us different, this body right here, from a body in a casket. Life energy. We're both bodies. One has life, the other doesn't. So we want all the life energy that we can muster. In our cells, we have what's called telomeres. And I know just this much about it. Telomeres decrease in length as we near death. Okay, so we have our telomeres decreasing in length. So as they get shorter and shorter, then we know we're getting closer to death. We're not made to last forever. God didn't make us like that. But we can do our part as people by taking care of our bodies. One thing that has been proven is that Tai Chi helps increase the length of telomeres. So we can infer that Tai Chi increases life. Just saying. We know how bad stress beats us down. We will let the world get on our shoulders with stress. So many things that we can just let make us heavy. But if we even spend a little bit of time coming to Tai Chi, breathing, inhale, exhale, using that lung capacity, slowing down, moving slow, smooth, and continuous, thinking about those positive affirmations, like when we do the big shoulder circle, if we think about inhaling positive, all those good things, and then exhaling negative, anything that's like weighing us down, even for just a moment, because there are times when we can't just completely let go the stressful things. We have to deal with them. We can't just avoid them, but we can pick them up in a minute. Give us a little time to de-stress, to breathe, to let it go. Give us a chance to put some things into perspective, and we can do that. You know, the whole premise behind count to 10 before you react, you know, it's that same concept. Slow down, take some breath, get it into perspective before you just keep going at stress with stress. And I mean, I just feel like Tai Chi helps lengthen our life in that way, because we don't let stress beat us down. Stress can make our blood pressure go up. Our blood pressure works our heart harder than if we have high blood pressure. If our heart rate is up all the time, our heart is working really, really hard. But if we learn to calm ourselves, then our heart's not working as hard. Guess what lasts longer if we don't work it as hard? Our heart. So we take care of our bodies, but our spirit too, by giving a chance to just slow down. You don't have to know all the Tai Chi things. You don't have to know exactly how to do waving hands and clouds. You don't have to exactly know the advanced movements of, you know, play the lute and parry punch. That's just part of learning Tai Chi, movements that are in a certain order. But you can just come simple and go to our warm-up stretches. And as long as we're following principle, as long as we're focusing on an upright posture where we're holding our bodies in a way that's supportive, good posture, not holding tension in our shoulders, moving slow, smooth, and continuously, conscious of our weight transfer while keeping that good posture, keeping in mind our open joints, not locking our arms, locking our knees, giving ourselves time for some Jing, J-I-N-G, which is mental quietness. Even within our warm-up stretches, we're going to get all those benefits of reducing stress in our life that loves to just get the best of us. So Tai Chi is just everything for our spirit, and you know, giving us a place to rest. We can't stay high all the time off, you know, adrenaline, because we'll get that way. We can live that way. There's plenty of things to find to stress and worry about. So with that said, let's think about that in terms of our principles, thinking about our warm-ups. So you know what? I just realized I'm not the big picture. Sharita, you're the big picture. There. So you may be in the recording. And if you don't want to be on YouTube, tell me and I won't put it up there. But now I'm in the big picture. I was trying to figure out what was different or what was wrong, but I was really trying to bring that point back to, yes, we talked about the tapping, and how it can be associated with what we do in Tai Chi, and that's controlling what goes on around us as best that we can with the way we react. So we always warm up by walking, opening, closing our hands, just getting our body ready for movement. We never want to do movement on cold muscles. So if we do that, we increase our chance of injury. Same thing is at the end of any type of workout you do, it's good to do some stretching while your muscles are warm, and that helps increase the flexibility even more. So get yourself in a place where you're Feet are about shoulder width, hip width apart. You're supportive in your stance. Remind yourself that we're going to breathe through this. Sometimes we forget to breathe. Let's start with our neck. We bring our hands up, palms down, towards our chin and chest. Push away from our bodies and follow those hands all the way down. Chin to chest, feeling a slight stretch in the back of your neck. Come back up towards your chin and chest. Push away and follow those hands. So you match this with your breathing. Inhale as you come up and exhale as you need to through that movement. Other one starts out that same way. We drop one to our hip and follow this one as we look towards that shoulder. Feeling that stretch in our neck, coming back to front, switching hands, and go to the other shoulder. Really works on the flexibility of our neck. Most of us probably hold a lot of tension here, especially if you drive a lot. I always talk about having to drive so much and sitting and watching baseball games and sitting and watching dance at a dance competition. You know, just sitting, you have to hold some tension in your head or else your head will just fall over. And if we don't take time to stretch, then our muscles will really start getting tense and sore. And this is just the perfect movement for our neck. Now for our shoulders, I have my hands to my sides and I'm just going to roll those shoulders forward. And back. Oh, like a little massage you give yourself. And again, just breathe in as you roll those shoulders. Inhale and exhale at your own pace because our lungs are all different. But it's all in the name of warming up and stretching all our major joints. Most often where we have arthritis. The other shoulder stretch, we bring our palms up and then we push them down in front of us. A great one to think about breath. Inhale, exhale, or even gentle resistance as if we're pushing through water both ways. Utilizing muscle that we wouldn't normally utilize. Now for our spine, we grab our ball so our hands are facing each other. We're going to put the hand that's on top of our ball. We'll push down towards the ground and we keep that soft bend in our elbow. The other one comes up and pushes up towards the ceiling. So this isn't an arm stretch. This is a spine stretch. And that may take a little bit of working with that movement to make sure that you are stretching your back. My best advice is to know if you're stretching your back is lift weights and get your back muscles really sore so you'll know that you're stretching your back muscles. I swear my back muscles are always so sore. But I try to be weightlifter girl, Miss Sharita. I started this new program of 5 sets of 5 so I can lift heavy, like less reps but heavier weights. And I swear I'm getting strong, and I think that's maybe why I'm losing weight.
Oh.
It's not because I eat less. Remember, we already talked about how important eating is to me. I take eating very seriously.
I know.
All right, let's take our ball side to side. Hand on top is the direction that we're going, and we're just going on a small trip. Last week, I hope you watched the video where we did seated Tai Chi. Miss Sylvia really wanted to learn how we do seated Tai Chi, and I'm telling you, that is a heck of a workout. You wouldn't imagine it would be so hard on your legs to do seated Tai Chi. All right, now we'll focus on where we start doing our weight shifting. This is for our hips. So again, good posture, relaxed shoulders, weight on both legs. We're going to shift the weight to one leg, place that heel forward, hands back, pause in the middle, and toe back, hands forward. Switch it up. Stay on that one stabilizer leg. That's how we work on with those stabilizer muscles, making us strong and very balanced. Back to center. Shift the weight. Heel forward, hands back. Pause. Toe back. I really try to keep it to 3 when we're in these weight on one leg movements, because that one leg gets a little bit tired. And in the middle. Now we're going to shift our weight side to side. We stack our hands, and it's like we're pushing a curtain open or pushing a wall as we shift the weight and tap out. Shift. Lift and tap. Bring it back. Switch. Shift. Lift and tap. So it's important to keep an upright posture. It would be very easy to lean, but we keep that upright posture. Remember to breathe. Do one more on each side. Now for our knees, shift the weight to one leg, lift, tap that toe out, and punch the opposite hand. Bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch. Upright posture, not leaning, being strong in that one stabilizer leg. It's a challenge for us. It's a good indicator of our fall risk, though, when we're able to hold our weight on one leg. You need to do it with a chair. No shame in that. As long as we're giving it a chance and not just skipping it because it's hard. Next, we're going to step out. I'm going to turn to the side just to show you just how small the step is. Shift the weight, step, keeping both feet flat on the floor, our bodies upright as we shift weight to that front foot, punching the opposite hand, bringing the weight back, feet side by side, shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side, shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, feet side by side, shift, step, shift and punch, side by side. We're not shifting all the weight to that front foot, just enough to challenge those muscles, bringing it back. So that's what that move looks like. Now to our ankles. We're going to shift the weight to one leg and then do heel toe. So we're just rocking that foot back and forth. Of course, good for circulation, but definitely good for the flexibility of our ankle, a joint that we often I don't think we forget about it. We just may not give it the attention that our knees, hips, and spine get. But definitely just as important. It's a weight bearing joint, just one of our smaller ones. Shift the weight and then do big toe, little toe. So side to side. May feel a little more awkward than the other one. We're just trying to move that ankle all the ways that it moves naturally. Shift, little toe, big toe. Very good. Now give yourself a little shake. So those are our warm-up moves. That I have had classes that only did the warm-up moves for 12 weeks. Used to our class was 12 weeks. Now we have 16-week classes. So you can just do those warm-ups as long as you're following principles, then you're going to get benefits. But you want to learn more and you've done more. Now you like when I turn around, right, Sharita?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I'm going to turn around and we're going to go through our basic 6 moves. Now remember with commencement that our footwork is a shift right, a step left, shift left, and we bring that right foot forward. That's what's happening with our legs. What's happening with our hands is they face each other the whole time. We bring them up and they're away from our bodies, but we're not Frankenstein, right? We still have that soft bend. So we come up and down, in, up, out, and back in. So that's what our hands are doing. It's hard to see when I'm turning around backwards. That's why I want to show you from the front. So commence, we come up with our hands, down, shift right. Step left, bring those hands in and up. Shift left as your hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, and then we go to open and close. So of course, open and close is that simple. It's a breath, because when I hold my hands right here, I inhale, my hands opened. When I exhale, my hands closed. So I didn't physically move my hands. My breath, the air I took into my lungs, the air I let out of my lungs is what moved my hands. Inhale, exhale. That's open and close. Can you add in a principle there? Add in gentle resistance by using that extra muscle, by pretending you're moving through heavy air, by adding a little bit of force into that movement. Absolutely. Can you just sit there and make it a breath, open and close? Yes. You can think about it as an accordion. Pull in the accordion and push in the accordion as you inhale and as you exhale. Those are ways to add the principle and do that movement 2 different ways. All right, so commencement and open and close. And begin. Commence up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Step left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. So we're going to shift left and step right. So when we just stepped, what we did was put our bodies in a staggered stance. So right here, we have our feet at shoulder width apart. That's a stable stance. My knees are slightly bent, which you can maybe see a little bit from the side. I'm not up. I just have that slight bend. That helps me absorb any kind of, force. If somebody accidentally bumped into me, those bent knees help me absorb that. The wide stance helps make me more stable. So when somebody bumps into me, I'm less likely to fall over. My feet are like this all the way together and my legs are locked. Somebody bumps into me, I'm way more likely to fall. So we want to hold ourselves in a nice stable stance whenever we can outside of Tai Chi class. If we can't, if we need to switch it up a little bit, then we want to be in a staggered stance. So a staggered stance is when you have one foot up a little bit and the other foot back. You might put your foot at a little bit of an angle, and you have that soft bend in your leg or in your knees. And again, that helps you be stable and absorb any kind of impact that you may have. That's what we're going for when we do that single whip. When we shift the weight, shift, and we step, we're putting ourselves in a staggered stance that's stable. What our hands do is we push out away from us. We turn our hands away, and then it's like we're taking our hands down a wall, and our eyes follow the hand opposite of the foot that stepped out. That's always the rule with a single whip, whether we're doing these regular single whips in our basic 6 or our step back single whips in our part 2. So we shift, step, adjust the weight, push, turn, separate. This time our eyes are following the left hand opposite of the foot we stepped out with. Now we shift our weight to that back leg, bring that front foot back so that we can do waving hands and clouds. So let's add that to our first 2 movements, starting with commencement. Here we go. And commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, bring those hands up, out as we shift, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust the weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot and right hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step right, switch hands, and turn. Shift, step, switch, 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 turn. In the middle for open and close. Now let's single whip the other way. Shift right, step left, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step out left, switch hands, turn. Shift, step, switch, 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 turn. To the middle for open and close. Close it out. Any questions about your basic 6? Do you feel good about those movements? Okay. You let me know if you need me to go over anything in particular, and I will. So let's go through them again. I'll talk you through it, and then I'll do it without talking. So from the top. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, bring those hands in and up. Shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right. Push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot back, waving hands and clouds. Step right, switch hands, turn. Shift, step, switch, 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 turn. To the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step left, switch, turn, shift, step, 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 switch, turn to the middle for open and close. And close it out. All right, let's do it again. This time I'll just call out the names of the movements. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. Each time you do these movements, you can focus on something different. You can say, okay, this time I'm going to do it. I'm going to really pay attention to my posture. I'm making sure that I'm not leaning forward, back, side to side with the weight shift. Even though I'm shifting weight to one leg, my body stays upright. Even though I'm turning my body to a direction, I'm not leaning into that direction. Sometimes in waving hands in clouds, I've seen where people, instead of staying within their frame and moving that torso, making it a spinal movement, go way out here, like they just try to do too much. So everything in Tai Chi we do is very small. So let's do the movements thinking about upright posture. So here we go. I'm going to go through the movements. I'm not going to talk, just follow me, but thinking about upright posture throughout. And begin. So maybe you really paid attention to your posture. The more that you pay attention to your posture while you're doing your Tai Chi moves, the more you're going to have that body awareness out there in the world. So when you're out there, I have a pretty boring life, so I always seem to refer to going to Walmart because I feel like I'm always going to the Walmart shopping for something. But when you're shopping at the Walmart or wherever you have to shop, how are you carrying your body as you push your buggy through or as you walk through? Making sure you're not leaning into your movement, shuffling your feet. Have that good posture. Think about your weight transfer as you walk. Slow, smooth, and continuous through your movements. So we are constantly aware of what we're doing, how we're holding our bodies, not holding tension in our shoulders. That's something that Tai Chi has given me, is that body awareness, to notice if I'm ever holding tension in my shoulder. Because I work at a desk, I usually work at a standing desk, and I'm real conscious of where is my keyboard so that I'm not having to go up like this and create tension. Anytime we have tension, we're going to start having pain there. It's part of the pain cycle. And in order to stop the pain, we have to stop the cycle somewhere. So identifying what you do wrong that causes tension, that can cause pain. Stopping it wherever you're making that mistake. And it can be just as easy as posture. So you can go through those movements and think about gentle resistance. So as you move, pretend that the air is heavy and you're pulling those arms up through that heavy air and down through that heavy air and just really working with resistance. And when you work with resistance, you're using muscles that you wouldn't really have to use in order to bring your hands up and down. Thinking about moving through heavy air engages those muscles. When we engage muscles, they get stronger. We're working against gravity here. You know, we don't have TheraBands where we're moving with resistance through rubber bands. We don't have, you know, weights, actual weights. So, but gravity is real. We know that. We step on a scale. It says gravity. And without gravity, we don't weigh anything. So we're using whatever body weight we have to move through life. That is weight bearing. Pretending we're moving through heavier air, you're making yourself use muscles. So you can do this same movement, same basic 6 movements, and think gentle resistance. You can use those same movements and think about breath. I think it was last week in one of the classes, I talked about breath through commencement and how an inhale up and an exhale down and in, and then an inhale up and an exhale out and in. So commencement is 2 breaths. And if you're doing Tai Chi by yourself, then you're in control of the speed and what your breath is allowing, because our lungs are different. I know whenever I'm going a certain pace and I may got here and I still had breath to exhale, I let it exhale and stayed there. And then when I was ready to inhale, then I continued my commencement move. So sometimes the pace of your movement may be a little faster than your breath, but just take that opportunity to pause, continue the exhale, then inhale up, and then exhale as you go out and back in, and then open and close, which we know is a breath. Inhale, exhale. So you can go through those movements and really focus on where is your breath with the movements. And then that's part of our principles of Tai Chi, is breathing diaphragmatic breaths, deep breaths, using the full capacity of our lungs. Inhale, exhale, as you push through that single whip. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Whatever pace that your lungs are wanting to breathe, and just match it up with change in your movement. It's 6 basic movements, but you can do them with a different focus and get different things out of it. So don't ever feel like, oh gosh, that I've learned that. Check it off. I'm ready for something bigger and better. Lot to learn just in our basic 6. So let's do it one more time, then we'll cool down. So you focus on whatever you want to, even if it's just, girl, I'm still focusing on learning what these movements are. I'm not ready for all that principle stuff. You do you and make the best of it. So here we go. And commence. There you go. Now you have a video to practice to that's turned around backwards. So I try to give you a variety because I know everybody learns and likes things done a different way. And so I guess I'm some kind of genius that knows how to do it forwards and backwards and telling y'all right when I'm moving left. I don't know how my brain does what it does. I just know I'm willing to help y'all any way I can. So if y'all let me know what you need, even outside of class, I'm willing to do a separate, like one-on-one Zoom meeting with you. I can very easily set that up, and we'll just pick a time that works best for both of us, and we'll work together because yes, this is part of my job, but it's not just something I just check off and go, okay, done. Yes, next thing. I really care about y'all. And I want y'all to get the most you can out of it if you're interested. And it's not for everybody, but for those of you who it is for, let's make it the most. So we give ourselves that fist massage. I didn't really say what I was doing, but that just is a way to tell our legs thank you. We appreciate how hard they work for us as we do all that weight shifting throughout our day, but especially in Tai Chi. Then we create and gather tension, and we know we're not living our best life when we're in tension, so we let that go. That feels so much better. So we gather and release, gather and release. In that big shoulder circle, focusing on breath. It's for our shoulders, yes, but inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then as we end each class, we have our right fist that represents our strength. Our left hand, fingers together, representing our friendship, and our thumb in representing our humility. So strength, friendship, and humility, and putting those together in mutual respect, we say namaste. So thank you so much, Miss Sharita. Let me know if I can do anything for you within the next week. And if not, I'll see you next Tuesday. What size of shirt do you wear?
Medium.
Because anybody who comes to class 10 times earns a shirt. So now as we come to the end of our class,
Don't say that word.
I won't say it. I'll say it next week. But the videos will still be here, and we will resume class in August. We'll start a new class. In the meantime, I will have farmers market in the summertime. That's what I do during the summer. And so Miss Sharita, you're in my area. You're in Dodge County, and so you'll be eligible, quite possibly. We'll talk about it off of this, for farmers market, and that will be $50 in produce. So we'll get you that too, girl. We'll just take care of you. All right, my dear. Well, I love you, and have a good week.
I love you too, Jennifer. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.